Okay, so welcome everybody for the Akashic Wednesday wisdom meditation and wisdom. So I hope everybody is well. So today we are covering the topic of ancestral trauma and wounds. And so I was inspired to do this because we are heading towards Samhain or All Hallows Eve on the 31st of October. Now, of course, you might be watching this at a completely different time, but the content is still absolutely going to be relevant. And so looking at our ancestral stuff is a really, really key thing, not only because it supports our own well-being and it supports us with being able to release anything that we're still holding energetically in our DNA within our cells, but also it offers the opportunity for your ancestors to also receive healing as well, which, you know, for their perspective, it supports them with whatever incarnation they have afterwards. If we're kind of directing this healing towards them, then they benefit as well. And also it benefits all of our future generations as well. So if you've got children, grandchildren, great grandchildren even, you are clearing the lines for them as well, so they don't have to on some level repeat or experience some of the blocks, some of the karmic blocks, restrictions that we are holding within our Akashic records. So this is why, you know, this is really kind of a beautiful topic to cover. Now, of course, I'm inspired by the All Hallows Eve because the veil is at its thinnest when we go into that 31st of October, and so we have that real, you know, much closer connection with the spiritual realms, with the fifth dimension in the book, I suppose. So I felt inspired to cover that as a topic. So if you're new to my page, bear with me. If you're new to my page, then I'm Marina the Soul Alchemist, and I support my clients with clearing non-beneficial energy, entities, grey fields, spirits, anything that's not serving us, anything that can be found within the Akashic records that is holding you back in your life and your business. And I also like to look at a soul's identity as well and their soul profile. So just understanding how we've actually been created to do life and business is also incredibly powerful. It helps us with our soul alignment. So in terms of using your Akashic records, you can do this in a number of ways, and it really will depend on where you're up to with your senses. So some people like to use their imagination, some will be quite visual, some people may kind of really turn on their hearing senses. Some people just have a sense of knowing, and some people will kind of feel their way into the Akashic records, and no way is better than another. It's just how you experience your Akashic records. And what I would say is try and turn on as many senses as possible so that you can really embody and embrace and have that experience fully. Now, if you can't, don't worry about it. It's all practice. And what you'll find, the more you use your Akashic records, obviously you're learning more about your soul's journey and kind of what you've been doing and doing this healing. But also you will be elevating your intuition. The more times we practice and we connect with our guides and we trust the messages and we trust the guidance and all of the information we get through, you are building your connection with your intuition, and you're building that faith and trust with it as well. So, you know, this type of work is incredibly powerful. So without further ado, let's get connected. Let's get grounded. And we'll be calling in our spiritual support team to hold the space, and then we'll be going into the Akashic records. So what I would like you to do first of all is to have your hands, your palms facing upwards, and we're going to put ourselves in a very receptive and open space. Place those just gently on your lap, and then I want you to close your eyes and just start to relax. Allow yourself to just have this time for yourself without any to-do lists going through the mind. And I want you to start to just focus on your breath. So take a deep breath in for me. And as you take that deep breath in, we're just going to call back your energy from across time and space, people and events. And then on the out breath, I want you to release anything that's not serving you, any stress, anxiety, Just allow it to be taken by the earth. And again, take another deep breath in, calling back your energy from across time and space, people and events. And again, on that out breath, just release, relax. And any energy that's not yours, we're just asking for that to be, again, transmuted back to the earth, taken from your own energy field and released. And again, one more time, take a deep breath in, calling back your energy from across time and space, people and events. And on the out breath, allow the shoulders to relax, the forehead to soften, and the jaw to slacken. Just releasing any tension, any anxiety. And starting to feel the body getting heavier and heavier in the chair that you're sat in. Really feeling the connection of your feet on the floor, feeling that support that the earth gives to us, the support of the chair that you're sat in. And we're just very much bringing our attention and our awareness to the physical body and to the room that we're sat in. And this helps just brings us out of the head, back into the present, back into the now. And bring your attention now to the heart chakra. And I want you to start to imagine that there's a big golden ball of light that's making itself bigger and bigger within the chest. And imagine that glowing light. It's taking more and more space up in the chest. And just allow the heart space to expand and to grow. Even if it feels slightly uncomfortable, just allow it to continue to expand and open. And then I want you to push that golden ball of light, or an aspect of that golden ball of light, from the heart all the way down through the physical body, through the feet. And I want you to push it deep into the earth, through the soil, through the rocks, the stones, the shale, deeper and deeper, taking that golden ball of light all the way to the heart of Mother Earth. And the heart of Mother Earth is represented by a beautiful, large, glowing, glistening crystal. Just notice what color or type of crystal that is, and push your golden ball of light into the crystal. And as you make that connection, that crystal lights up with that golden glow of your energy, of your heart. As your heart connects with the heart of Mother Earth, feel that connection. And having that connection brings that real sense of peace, groundedness, perhaps a nurturing and a nourishing energy. As Mother Earth is connected with your energies. So start to bring that golden ball of light back up through the earth, taking it through the soil. We're going to just take it individually through each of the chakras. And as it take that ball of light through the chakras, we're just going to activate and open those. So taking it through the earth star chakra, which is below your feet, taking it higher now up through the legs, up to the thighs, up to the root chakra, through the base of the spine, up through the sex organs, through the sacral chakra, up through the navel chakra, the point below your belly button, and higher again above the belly button through the solar plexus. Taking it higher again through the heart, up to the throat, up to the shoulders also, and down the arms, all the way to the palm chakras. Taking the golden ball of energy up to the third eye, the point between your eyebrows. And allowing that golden ball of energy to split and go through the ears and through the ear chakras. back into the middle of the head through the pineal and pituitary glands, and then up to the top of the head through the crown. And the crown chakra opens with a golden burst of light through the top of the head. And those etheric chakras are lit above your head and at the back. So your soul star chakra, universal chakra, and your stellar gateway right at the top. Taking that golden ball of energy now higher, up through the roof of your home, up into the sky, through the clouds, then into the darkness, the dark night sky, past all of the stars, past all of the planets, past all of the universes, and through all of the dimensions. So we take that golden ball of light higher and higher. And we're taking the golden ball of light towards that large, beautiful, spiritual, fiery, golden sun that's starting to get bigger and bigger in front of you. And I want you to plunge your golden ball of light into that fiery sun and feel that connection with divine source. And you may have come to a very peaceful place, very still, and feeling that divine love that divine source has for us. As your golden ball of light is merged with that spiritual sun, with divine source. And then bringing your golden orb of light back out of the sun. And with it, there is this fiery golden cord, which is a representative of your connection with divine source. And we're bringing it back through all of the dimensions, through all of the universes, past all of the planets and the stars, back through all of the clouds, through the roof of your home, back into the room that you're in, and through the etheric chakras into the crown and back towards the heart. So you are connected above and below. And we're going to ask just for that golden light to now expand from the heart chakra, through the skin, out into your auric field and out into the room. This golden light is going to be holding your space, cleansing and clearing anything that's not serving you in the room. And again, Mother Earth will take that energy and transform it elsewhere. We're going to ask for your ego now to step up from your body, separate themselves, and head towards the door. And your ego does this with a smile on their face because they know that we'll be back soon enough. Your ego leaves the room and gently shuts the door behind them. And so you know that any guidance that will come through will be from your guides and not the mind. So we're just going to invite your spiritual support team, all of those guides, those light beings of 100% pure love and light that wish to hold your space personally. We're going to invite those now into your room. And we're also going to invite your ancestors and your family guides, loved ones that have passed, and any of your family members that you haven't even met. Inviting those to bring themselves forward into the room, to also hold the space and to be also held within this space. I'm now going to invite the 6 archangels that I work with, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel. Please take a place around our physical bodies. Archangel Michael behind us, Archangel Gabriel to the left, Archangel Uriel in front, and Archangel Raphael to your right. We invite Archangel Sandalphon to hold the space below our feet, and Archangel Metatron above our heads. And so these 6 archangels are forming a beautiful, powerful, angelic sphere of light around your auric field, which will help guard and shield your energies as we go into your Akashic records. So start to focus on the third eye, the point between your eyebrows. And I want you to start to notice that there's a purple portal of light. And you may sense or just feel or just know that this purple portal of light is starting to get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. And it gets so big that you can step through that light and find yourself in a corridor. And this corridor leads you to your Akashic records. But as we walk down the corridor, I would like you to start to awaken your senses. So start to notice perhaps what this corridor looks like, or use your imagination. Start to hear your footsteps as you walk down the corridor. Maybe touch the walls and sense the textures of the walls either side. Perhaps you can smell the corridor. Perhaps there's a fragrant scent, or maybe one that has the odor of wood, or maybe even leather. Start to walk towards the large door at the bottom of the corridor. And as you get to the door, I want you to notice, sense, feel, or just know that the following details are upon the door. And this is your full name, your date of birth, and your place of birth. Once you sense, feel, or know that those details are there, place your hand on the door handle and open the door of your Akashic records and step into your library, allowing the door to shut gently behind you, perhaps hearing the click. And take a few more steps forward and really start to embrace, visualize, see, notice what your library looks like today. Is it filled with many, many books, perhaps big windows and many floors? Or perhaps it just feels quite modest and plain with just a few books. However your library presents itself today is perfect. There is no right or wrong. So take a deep breath in here for me. And just really breathe in your knowledge and your wisdom, and all of this information that surrounds you in your library. Your soul's journey from your soul's creation is held within this space. So celebrate your life, all lives, and where you find yourself today. So I want you to walk a little bit more forward into the center of the room, and you'll notice that there's a long, large table. And upon that table is a huge book. This is your present lifetime book that is recording all of the information, all of the choices, all of the consequences, your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, interactions, relationships, stories, all of this recorded in this book. And it has been constantly updated every second of the day. So whilst you're standing and perhaps looking at your book, I'm going to invite your Akashic record keepers to step into the library. So start to sense an energy or energies towards the left-hand side of your body. And when you're ready, I want you to turn and face your Akashic record keepers or guides and say hello. Your guides are smiling and are delighted that you've taken the time out today to connect with them and also come into your own Akashic records. Your guides know that we have important work to do. And don't really waste any time and start to walk towards a door on the right-hand corner of the room. They do seem to be in quite a hurry. So you do what you can to follow them. And your guide stops in front of a door. And it seems a very plain, old wooden door. And you can see the bark of trees upon it. And so your guides open the door and just let you know before you step into this room that they will be there supporting you, holding the space. So your guides are ushering you forwards to step into the room behind the door. And as you step into the room, you find yourself in a clearing within a huge, huge forest. And you can see there before you that there's a clearing that has logs all placed within a large circle. And within that circle, there's a fire that you can hear the crackle and the snap of the twigs. And it's daytime within this room, within this clearing, within this forest. And you can feel the warmth of your skin being heated up by the sun that's above you high in the sky. And if you listen around you, you can hear the chatter of birds and perhaps the rustle of animals that are walking through the forest. So your guide is excited to lead you over to this circle. And you can see that there are many logs all laid on their side, acting as seats around this fire. And your guide is asking for you to sit upon one of the logs that just looks slightly higher and slightly bigger than the rest. And your guide lets you know that this is your space for this special gathering. And so you sit upon that log, looking at the fire, feeling at home, feeling at peace within this clearing, within this huge forest. And just allowing the sun to warm your skin. And perhaps you can smell the pine and the trees that line this forest. So your guide is asking for you to close your eyes as you sit upon this log and to continue just to listen and feel at peace and feel relaxed. As your guide now wants for all of the ancestors from both your maternal and your paternal line to start to make their way into this clearing and sit themselves upon the logs. So whilst your eyes are closed, these logs are being filled. And as they're being filled, you may start to hear perhaps chatter, conversations, maybe whispers and hushes. You may notice that there's a difference with male and female voices, and maybe even children, as the circle is being filled with your relatives, with your family from the past. And once all of the ancestors that wish to step into your Akashic records and step into this circle for healing have entered, your guide asks you to open your eyes and just take a look or use your imagination or just sense or just know or feel that there are many, many beings all sat around the fire from all different times, centuries, all surrounded, all connected with you in one way or another. And the ancestors that have stepped forward today welcome the healing. They wish to receive whatever they can receive in order to support their next experience, in order to support you with releasing the karmic ties, the karmic energies, and maybe the karmic agreements that they have made. So we're now going to invite some angelic support. And first of all, we're going to invite Archangel Sandalphon to step forward. And Archangel Sandalphon steps into the middle of the clearing and stands beside the fire. And Archangel Sandalphon wants to just deepen the connection with your ancestral records. Archangel Sandalphon has a direct connection with our bloodline and with that particular level of the Akashic records. So you may notice that there are cords that are coming from your feet that will start to appear, and they'll just start to strengthen their connection with each and every ancestor that is there. And this is just so that the healing that you receive today has a pure and clear connection for every single ancestor that has shown up today. So you may see those cords as a particular color. They may feel like they're just ropes or twine. They may feel like, some of them may feel like chain. However they're being shown is perfect, but just know that they've been amplified in order for the ancestors to receive the healing. And now we're going to invite Archangel Raphael to step into the clearing. And Archangel Raphael also takes a place beside the fire. And we're now going to bring forward and request any blocks and restrictions, any agreements, any trauma, any wounds, any imprints, implants, programming, conditioning, stories that we are being currently affected by from our ancestral lineage. If it is safe to do so, if it is appropriate and the highest good of all, we are now requesting that those blocks, those restrictions, and all that I've mentioned are now released from our own personal Akashic record, but also all of the other ancestral records of those that have turned up today. Can we now release all of those energies, complete all of those agreements, heal any wounds or trauma that are being held on any level within the consciousness, within our energetic DNA, within our memory systems, within our cells. Archangel Raphael stands beside you, places his hands round the back of your shoulders and round the back of the chest, and projects a beautiful, powerful green ball of healing energy through the back, through the heart, down through the feet, and into those cords. And so you may notice, sense, feel that those cords are glowing green as each ancestor receives the healing, the clearing, the cleansing that they need, that you need, in order for us to all move forward into our next experience, next lifetime, or the current lifetime in the most aligned way possible. So feel the healing come from Archangel Raphael's hands, coming through the back, through the shoulders, down through the body, through the feet. So your feet may start to feel tingly, you may feel a heat, or they may go cold as you're transmitting this energy directly down your lineage, the maternal and paternal lines, all to those ancestors. And those ancestors close their eyes and receive that healing. And you may notice, sense, feel, or just use your imagination that green healing energy is going to any aspect of their body, their auric field, to their Akashic records, to release that energy. And so it continues, that healing continues on and on. And then you may notice that some of the healing starts to fade, the green starts to turn itself off on particular chords. And that just means that the healing has finished for that particular ancestor. But as you are transmitting this healing, just know that you are releasing any effects from any of the contracts, agreements, vows, trauma, wounds, beliefs, programming that your ancestors have held for thousands of years. You are also releasing those effects from your own Akashic records, from your own bodies. And as those lights and that glowing green starts to dissipate, starts to lessen, the ancestors will start to open their eyes because they know that the healing is complete. And then when you've got those final ancestors that have received the healing, Archangel Sandalphon just asks and requests that those cords are just now lessened and taken to the minimum level that they need to be. And Archangel Raphael steps back as the healing has now been completed. And your guides are inviting you to now stand up and walk the circle in front of your ancestors. And this is your opportunity now to give or send a blessing to each and individual ancestor. And you may want to just do this with a smile or a thank you, or perhaps a nod of the head. You may even want to hug a couple of the ancestors or maybe just touch their hands. But I'm going to give you a few moments now to walk the circle so you can honor your ancestors and your family members and thank them for all that they have done and all that they have experienced before you came into this present lifetime. And then when you feel you've completed all of your blessings, then it's time to leave this clearing, this forest. And just know that you can come back here anytime to give more ancestral healing, or even come back to get guidance. So, as we depart, we'll say goodbye to all of your ancestors as they start to fade away. And then we say goodbye to Archangel Raphael and Archangel Sandalphon. And again, they start to disappear. And your guide then starts to walk out of the clearing and towards that large wooden door at the side. So start to walk towards that door. And your guide opens the door, invites you to step through back into your Akashic records. And the door shuts gently behind you. And your guides are inviting you to step back over to the table with the large book. And you'll notice that that has already been recorded. Perhaps you can see a picture or a photograph or an illustration or just words that are depicting your ancestors and yourself sat in that clearing around the fire, receiving that healing. And your guide wants to give you some advice, a message, as a way to continue to honor your ancestors anytime that you choose or feel that you need to do that. So your guide steps forward, whispers a message in your ear. And just listen, sense, feel, or just know what that message is. And then it's time to leave the Akashic records, your cosmic library. So start to head towards the door. And once you get to the door, take one more look around your library. Open the door, step into the corridor, and allow the door to shut gently behind you. And out loud or in your mind, I want you to say, I now close my Akashic records. Start to head towards the purple swirling light. And then when you're ready, I want you to step through that purple swirling light and start to bring yourself back into the room. Start to rub your thighs, start to rub your feet on the floor, and start to ground that healing, ground any messages that you perhaps didn't quite capture. Then we're just going to ground those into the conscious levels of the mind. So even if it doesn't come to your consciousness just yet, we've got it in the subconscious, and so it can present itself in any way that it needs to at the time that is right for you. What I would suggest with all Akashic record healing is to drink lots of water over the next 24 hours, because that will really help for you to continue to flush any of the energy blocks and anything that's not serving you out of the physical system. So how did you find that session? It seemed very, very beautiful to be in that space. And I got a really beautiful message with how to honor my ancestors, which was quite simple, just doing it within the heart and thinking of my ancestors and just sending love from the heart to kind of just send that intention, and they would receive that connection and that healing. So if you've got any messages you would like to share, then please do let me know. Also, obviously, if you wanted to work a little bit deeper, and I work deeper in your Akashic records to support you, then please do reach out. I do have a monthly masterclass, Akashic masterclass, that supports you with your own healing, and we do very similar journey to that, but we also do activity sheets before, so it's like a 2-hour session. And the next Akashic masterclass that is coming up in November is the 1111 portal, and that's all about awakening your inner magician. So if that's something that you fancy looking into, they're incredible value, and it's a great way to start off using your Akashic records and your healing. So do look out for that. The information is all in this post or below this video. So do hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in a week's time. Love and blessings.